The year is 2008, and the world economy is in shambles. America is facing its worst recession since 1929, and people are starting to lose faith in the system. A system that bailed out big banks but didn't do anything for the millions of people who lost their homes or retirement. During this chaos, a white paper detailing the workings of a decentralized currency is released on the fringe part of the internet. Satoshi Nakamoto, who remains anonymous to this day, published a white paper for Bitcoin in November 2008, and he had a dream: to replace the traditional government currency with a decentralized currency that no one can control. Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we'll be discussing why Bitcoin could be the future of currency. Talking about Satoshi Nakamoto's dream, today we are closer than ever to achieving it. Even after the 60% crash we witnessed, its market cap is $500 billion, and its adoption is increasing. From World Food Program using it to give money to Jordanian refugees, to media companies paying journalists in Iran, it is being used everywhere. Sure, it hasn't replaced our currency yet, but we might be closer than you think. So, here are 6 reasons why Bitcoin could be the future of currency. Decentralization. In early 2022, truck drivers in Canada started a protest against vaccine mandates. More than $9 million were collected from various donors on the site GoFundMe in support of the truck drivers. In an attempt to stop the protest, the Canadian government froze those funds. Even the Supreme Court of Canada was in support of this move of the government. Many saw this move as undemocratic and against freedom of speech. Whether you favor the protest or not, the fact that the government holds such authority over other currencies cannot be ignored. This is where the use of Bitcoin becomes essential and why it can become the future of currency. The identity of Bitcoin revolves around decentralization. After the financial crisis of 2008, it was clear that the organizations that are supposed to keep our money safe could not be trusted. Let's face it, financial institutions and governments are not always reliable. Not just unreliable, you can easily become a victim of financial censorship if you do something the government does not agree on, just like those truck drivers who participated in the protest in Canada. There's still a lot of skepticism regarding Bitcoin, but many people are rethinking their stance on it after many incidents of censorship over the years. Accessibility. Imagine you are a refugee in Jordan. You have no money or assets to your name, and the only way you can get any food is through the World Food Program, but you have to wait days to get the funds transferred from local banks. Not only this, but as the banks use various forms of identification, you are at risk of your identity being revealed as you have just fled from your war-torn country. So what is the use of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in these situations? The World Food Program uses the blockchain system to deliver vouchers to refugees. They can simply redeem their crypto for food at the grocery stores at the refugee camps. As biometrics is used as a form of identification, there's no fear of their identity being revealed as well. According to the World Bank, a staggering 2 billion people worldwide do not have access to formal financial services, and these people are mostly from underdeveloped and developing countries. Bitcoin, along with other cryptocurrencies, has minimal barriers to entry. There are no third parties that you have to go through to gain access to it and use it. A smartphone and internet access will be sufficient. This makes it incredibly accessible. Especially in developing countries, accessing and using financial systems are a hassle. Transactions take days to process and the fees are expensive. This is a reason why many migrant workers have started to use Bitcoin to send money back home. Bitcoin plays a huge role in financial inclusion, as people that cannot have access to financial institutions can have access to Bitcoin. This easy access has the potential to develop these countries economically, and it is the reason why many people are already using Bitcoin rather than other currencies. The trend has just started, and it has huge potential for growth to the point where it can replace the use of other currencies. Safety. Modern banking works on what's known as fractional reserve system. For instance, if you deposit $100 in a bank, it lends out 90% or $90 and keeps $10 with itself. The idea is all depositors won't ask for their money all at once, and the bank can handle withdrawals since so many people deposit with them. But what if everyone comes to get their money at once? Well, the bank collapses, and this is called a bank run, where banks simply don't have the money to give everyone. We recently saw this unfold with U.S. regional banks and Silicon Valley Bank. Bitcoin was created to prevent something like this from happening. It looks like people's faith in Bitcoin increases, especially in times like these when the failure of centralized institutions is evident. In the wake of the collapse of the banks, the price of Bitcoin has rallied by 40%. Being public as well as decentralized plays a huge role in the safety of Bitcoin. It is not regulated by any bodies, which means you are solely responsible for the storage and management of your Bitcoin. Unlike other financial systems, the Bitcoin blockchain cannot be hacked. Your wallet could be hacked, but it is highly unlikely that the whole Bitcoin blockchain be hacked, which makes it safer than the other financial systems. It being so safe is a huge motivation for people to switch to Bitcoin from other currency use. Privacy. Unlike other financial systems, the Bitcoin blockchain does not require you to disclose your personal details. It is not anonymous, but rather pseudonymous, which means that rather than using your real name, you can use some made-up name to identify yourself. This is also the reason why the real identity of the creator of Bitcoin has remained a mystery, as it is thought that the name Satoshi Nakamoto is a pseudonym. Although the Bitcoin blockchain is public and anyone can take a look and figure out how many Bitcoins an address holds, these addresses are not linked with anything personal such as name, phone number, or physical address. This ensures privacy for the user. Although it is traceable, it provides more privacy than other systems as no third party is involved in regulating your transactions, and it is another reason to switch to Bitcoin from other currencies. Innovation. Although blockchain technology existed before Bitcoin, the use of blockchain became widespread after the introduction of Bitcoin in 2008. Being the first cryptocurrency, Bitcoin paved the way for the innovation of other various cryptocurrencies and changed the way we see digital currencies forever. The innovation in the world of cryptocurrency is ongoing. They are bringing big changes in the way businesses conduct their operations. Unless they adapt to these technological changes, it is difficult for them to gain competitive advantages. One example can be the increasing use of smart contracts. Smart contracts are hassle-free contracts between the buyer and seller without the involvement of any third party or legal entity. When the specified conditions are met, it executes the action. This kind of efficient and innovative technology means it's cheaper to enter into a smart contract that encourages people to use cryptocurrencies. Efficiency. From making payments to any corner of the world to being able to conduct transactions without the hassle of a third party, Bitcoin is very efficient. Even with such massive mining operations, Bitcoin consumes 56 times less energy than traditional financial systems. And innovations like proof of stake will make it much more efficient. Most financial institutions take some time to process your transactions. There are sometimes limits in place, and you can only make certain numbers of transactions in a day. Bitcoin removes these kinds of inefficient barriers. With it, there are no queues or restrictions. You do not have to rely on banks and their systems to make your transactions. This gives you more control over your money. In the end, Bitcoin has truly achieved something everyone thought impossible. It is slowly getting mainstream, and people are realizing its utility potential. Even big money like hedge funds and private equity are showing interest. Sure, we have seen more setbacks like the FTX collapse, but it's nothing new, and Bitcoin has somehow always survived. It will be interesting to see how this plays out in the next decade. Will it replace our financial system, or will it disappear into obscurity? I believe in the first one. What do you guys think? Comment that down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.